I wouldn't have the patience to teach a class on sociology, but I do love talking about it, even though it's a little off topic. But it's not off topic, really, because we are dealing with other humans here on the other side of this trading. And some of you, really, like truly, some of you need to know that people will rape you out there. I mean, you need to know there are malicious motherfuckers out there scheming to just take your money. It's not just an opportunity. There's definitely a very important defensive layer, that you need to activate, and certainly at least a competitive layer that you need to activate in order to really stay ahead, because you need to clear the opportunity and the maliciousness, right? And competition wise, you need to do better than you did yesterday always, and you want to try and achieve the best you can by the metrics of how everyone else is doing. So, there's a lot of levels. Anyway, what I was going to say was, shit, I even forgot now. Let's see. It was about sociology. They asked serial killers, and the one guy, what do they call it? There's like several famous serial killers. He's like number 2, number 3. I think it was Ted Kaczynski, but let me see. Ted Kaczynski. If that was I can't remember if Ted Kaczynski was a serial killer or the Unabomber. No, not the Unabomber. Shit. There's another guy that was like him. I can't remember his name. Serial killer. Ted Bundy. I think that's it. Thank you. Why do I always get them confused? Probably because they're both fucking sociopaths. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, that was it. Ted Bundy, right? Son of Sam. Wow. So serial killers or sociopaths have a problem with their prefrontal cortex, whether it's post-traumatic syndrome, seizing it up. They can't access empathy. So they don't have one, or it's very underdeveloped. It's small. It's, miswired. It's whatever. It could even be drugs or diet even, or just other genetic attributes that cause the prefrontal cortex not to be happening. Okay, it's either not happening or too small or whatever. Okay, evolutionarily. So they go in and they ask Ted Bundy, you killed this lady's daughter. Why did you do that? And his answer was, well, she has 4 other kids. Like, can you believe that? Like, I mean, that's like, if you want to understand the mind of a sociopath, I think that's the best answer ever. I mean, they ask him point blank, why'd you kill her daughter? And his answer, well, I mean, she has 4 other kids. So it's not that big of a deal. He doesn't even think of it. In other words, he doesn't even think of it as, see, without empathy, you don't really even think of others as even other human beings. You don't understand that they exist as a person like yourself, because you don't have that mirroring quality. You can't empathize with the fact that, so they're just you're an entity, a conscious entity, and then there's everyone else, and as a sociopath, that's what it is. And there's another one that's startling to me. There's a video, it was like a year ago, some guy outside, and I don't know, maybe it was 3 years ago, some lady was sitting down at a bench, like I think it was Los Angeles or something. She's sitting down on a bench. The guy's kind of like standing there. It's security footage. He's just standing there. He decides, I want what's in the lady's purse, right? So he just walks up to her, stabs her in the stomach. She falls onto the ground dying. He grabs the purse and takes the contents. He didn't, I mean, it really was no big deal to him. So this is this is this thing with sociopaths. They don't think of you as important, another human being, anything unusual. Just it's a computation. They want the purse, go, kill the thing and take the purse. It's crazy. And there's a huge percentage of the population that are sociopathic. It's nearing 9%, 10%. So 1 out of 10 people on this earth are like that. Not that they're criminal, because that's what we have systems in place uh, to punish them. Is for the sociopaths. By the way, like jail and punishment, all that stuff, that's for sociopaths. Normal people, they don't technically, they don't really need to go to jail. They can realize what they've done wrong, feel sorry about it. They could make apologies and promise never to do it again, and likely they won't ever do it again. But the sociopaths, they need the punishment, at least there as a preventative measure. And then once it's happened, we need to put them in jail because they'll never change. So anyway, let's get into the market. It's interesting too. It's fascinating to me. There's so many things you can learn from sociology. I encourage all of you to study it, and study it hard. It's why would you not want to understand human beings? I mean, you are one, and everything that we do is like based around it. It's I find it super fascinating. Love it. All right, so let's get into the market this morning. Good morning, everybody out there listening in. Yeah, so Camille, that's perfect. I mean, um, don't take this the wrong way, anyone who 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 is this, but I mean this in a good way, that a person is naive. They don't understand a lot of that. Some people, I mean, congratulations. I envy a lot of people who are naturally street smart. They understand other people and the dangers and all that. I wasn't one of them. I had to study sociology to like learn about the range of mankind. And if you're one of those too, like me, who was naive, it's really worth it to complete, some studies, get a better understanding. Do you ever say to yourself, why does that person think that way? Why do you think that? Why would you think that? Why do you think that? Well, studying sociology will get you all the way over that hurdle, to the point where at least now you know why they do. You might still be asking, why did they think? I wish they didn't think that. Why did they think that? But me, like after absorbing all of that, and further time passed, now I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care why they think that. They are the kind of person that thinks that way. And you have to accept that. That's the next level. Like, that's the next level. Like, you've got all these leftists saying that, the people on the right are idiots, and you have all these people on the right who are saying people on the left are idiots. And nobody's an idiot. They're just the way they are because of circumstances that they're in, and the way they've been raised and the people they're around. And they have a different viewpoint because of all the factors in their life. And you just got to accept it, actually. Kelly says, I never studied all that and I don't give a fuck. All right. Well, anyway, as you can see, it's a fun thing to talk about. All right. Let's take a look at this market and see what we have in store for us today. And on that note, I'm going to go live on TikTok as well. We'll talk about that. Yeah. My grandparents were killed by Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. I didn't find that out until later in life, after I decided to become a film composer at one point and write music for movies. And the kind of movies that I like to write music for are horror movies, suspense, thrillers, psychological thrillers, serial killer movies. I did a lot of them. And in fact, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a guy who broke into a movie theater, a screening of Batman, and killed a bunch of the people in the movie theater during a Batman screening. It might have been 10 years ago or something. Well, when they went back to his apartment, they found that just prior to that, he had watched a movie. And the movie he watched was a movie that I wrote the music to called Hunting Humans. And it's about the philosophy of a serial killer. And there's a scene in the movie where a serial killer goes into a movie theater and kills everyone in the movie theater. And uh, one of the interesting thing is in that movie, you hear a chainsaw, and you hear the lady on the screen going, "No, Evan, no!" And the guy chose to make the name of that character Evan in that scene after me because he really liked my music. And fuck, man, I mean, there's just like there's a weird lot of connections with me and uh, you know, bad things there, and it's not my fault. But like, you know, I definitely have gotten the short stick when it comes to luck with serial killers in life. And let's knock on wood, hope that everything goes all right for the next 40 years. But yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah, the director on that movie that I worked on, when I was talking to him the first phone call, I said, "Yeah, you know," and this is when I just this is when it kind of clicked for me that you know, my grandparents being killed by him. Anyway, uh, I say, "Oh yeah, my grandparents were unfortunately killed by a serial killer." We were talking about serial killers and stuff, and and he said, "Oh, was it the Night Stalker?" And I go, "Yes." Like, how the fuck did he know that? And and then he says, "Oh, was your grandparents Maxine and Vincent? You know, whatever." He says the names, and I go, "God damn, how did you know that?" He goes, "Well, I have like an encyclopedic knowledge of serial killers. That's what I study. That's why I'm making this movie, Hunting Humans." It became there's a book apparently called Hunting Humans, which is like the manifesto for serial killers or something. And yeah, there's the whole serial killer topic area is its own thing. Like, you know, they have Comic Con, you know, they have, you know, Hunting Humans. Oh, dude, it did. I was like, the whole thing was freaky. Yeah. I didn't know that about my grandparents until I was in my until I was like 21 because my parents kept that information from me, for obviously good reasons, till I was an adult. All right, I'm gonna go live on talk, and then we'll start talking about the market, you guys. So, you know, I wouldn't be talking if there was an opportunity kind of like right in front of us. So anyway, here we go. So we didn't miss anything. Is my point there. So don't worry. Going live now. Yeah, you know, that's one of those things you don't. I know tonight's class should be about sociology and psychology. We could do that a little, Daniel. You know, I don't know if that bores some people. I think it does. You know, some people just, I don't know, they aren't interested. They're like, just tell me, you know, chart patterns or something. But we can talk about chart patterns too. So, yeah, we can do a lot of interesting topic coverages. But pretty much what I just said, you know, it, was it in a nutshell. You love it? Yeah, I do too, man. Understanding human motivation is a lot of. I can tell you, uh, you know, like your motivation for anything. You know, after I've started studying sociology, I could tell you your motivation for anything. Um, There was one time my daughter she like previously would always be hopping from square to square on a rug we had. And sometimes she would jump 2 or 3 squares, and she would ask me which color to hop to next, and I'd pick a color, and she'd pick a far square of that color instead of a close square of that color. And she would do that like, for weeks. And then one day when I told her that, she only stepped to the nearest color every time. So I understood that she was sick. She was getting sick because, her immune system was becoming weakened. Because her body was going into conservation mode, and so she would not expend the extra calories of jumping from, and sure enough, later that night, she was sick by the end of that day. I was correct. So there's like, once you can understand human beings, physiology and sociology, man, it just unlocks everything. You can understand all motivation. All right, we will talk about that tonight because I have a really cool thing I can talk to you about why guys buy Lambos. That's what we're gonna call that. Why guys buy Lambos. That's what we're gonna call that segment. So somebody asked, what do you think about SPY? So SPY today, let's take a look at it overall, but Asia and Europe, held today, and they even grinded up a little bit. I think that might be exactly what we see today. Remember what I said yesterday is that Asia was down on the day yesterday, right? And then Europe took that ball and went up. And then we took that ball and went up, and then look what happened. And I said to you guys, I said, but that's a disconnect. Like, how's that going to work with Asia? Because, like, they take the ball next. It's 8 hours each. They're going to take the ball next. And how's that going to work? That's a huge disconnect. Are they going to gap up? And why? Is our economic information that good? It wasn't really, right? So my thoughts were, there's a disconnect there. And sure enough, we then started to bleed out for the rest of the day. And we had a pretty strong drop. And look where we met. We met Asia right where they were. We came right back to where, we needed to give the ball to Asia. All right, Asia, your choice now. So Asia today grinded up. And then Europe followed suit. Europe kind of stayed the same. And we are going to open up this morning a little bit across the board. But we're certainly not. Let's take a look at the chart of SPY here. This orange line, let's see, I'll make it really big so everybody can see. This orange line is where we're at right now. So we're not even back to the day before's range. We're still in the negative territory, well within the negative territory of yesterday's candle. So we have a lot of progress to make today, and we're going to have reason to make progress today. So if we don't get lots of reason to have progress today, I think today's going to be tricky, rangy. It may grind up for a while, feeling good, and then just drop. I don't think, without strong reason, other than the fact that, as far as I heard, if I heard correctly, Europe, well, maybe it was just the United Kingdom, decided to abolish using the masks, requiring that, mandating it. And so they actually beat us. UK is now lifted in restrictions more progressively than even the United States. So it just goes to show, what happens when you shop at Walmart. I wonder if anybody got that. There's a couple of stringed connected dots there. Has to do with TikTok and Walmart. But yeah, the U.S. has become highly dependent on China and influenced by China. So here we go. Market is open. And let's see what's going to happen. Sherwin-Williams is by far my most comfy long-term hodl. Thoughts on Sherwin-Williams? Let me take a look. You guys look for APM to potentially go wild today. If it can break over $1.83, which is the pre-market high, that's where you'd want to get in. APM. Okay, first things first here. We just had something break out. That's what that ring was. Okay, it's just Roku breaking to the upside. I think today, yeah, is going to be rangy, choppy, tricky, and yet maybe slightly tilted up and grinding up slightly all day. See. Now, as far as Sherman-Williams goes, somebody asked. I think it's toppling over and has lost momentum. So maybe that'll pick up again. But for now, little sketchy. Hasn't broken trend pivot really yet, but it's getting there. It's quite a retrace, about 60% retraced. All right, I'm watching that APM. If APM can get over $1.83, we're the leading idiots, Mark Trimble says about politically. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Wait a minute. No, I think Australia is doing worse than we are. I can't believe what's going on in Australia. That's the way they are. Might have to get rid of my Roku and my Teledoc shorts if they're going to keep ripping up like this. Roku, at the moment, not looking too bad. Teledoc, perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Never mind. This is just one of those days. Tesla break. Okay, Apple is breaking, and you know the typical risk on that is $1, and that is about true right now. 167. Yeah, $1 is exactly the risk point for the entry right there on Apple. Should you want to take Apple long for the day? Yesterday, I accidentally got into Ford again, and in an account that has pattern day trading restriction, so I couldn't sell it. So I converted to a vertical. Now today, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. Why wait for it to get to $1.83? That's a great question, because that is a particular strategy we use, which confirms demand and momentum. You know, if it can't get to $1.83, why would you get in it? Right? If it can't get there, why would you get in it? And we're not in the business of gambling, so you know we are making bets in a certain way, but we're definitely on the more high probability side of things. Like I would call gambling, you know, close to coin flips, if not, you know, even less probability, like lottery, playing lottery games. So we wait for the stock to break the pre-market highs because becomes a confirmation breakout, and there's a whole strategy around that that we run, and you can learn more about that strategy in my market mastery. I'm going to drop that link right now in your TikTok because that's where you asked. Try to copy it down or click on it. There you go. And you can learn the entire strategy over there on Market Mastery. By the way, if anybody on TikTok wants to check out our trading community, you can just come right in. The link is in my bio and check it out. So the market started to rally and now it's pulling back. And we have gold breaking yesterday's high. So he's starting to put the things together, and you can see that the day is not necessarily got everything running in its favor. Rates are unchanged, at dollar. 1.83 approximately. Energy was grinding down all night, but it's now holding at the open, and oil is above yesterday's close. So that's something good for the market. Bitcoin futures were up right before the open. I don't think they're going to hold, but they're approaching 43,000. It's interesting to see crypto and Bitcoin moving with such low volatility. Crypto has about 90% volatility. We're getting close to about 80% volatility now. Meaning roughly, whatever you put in, you can expect dips of 80%. So, but the reward is typically over 400%. So it does match the risk in that sense. That'd be like risking 20% to make 100%, or risking 5% to make 25%, or risking 1% to make 5%. So it's a 5 to 1 kind of risk reward ratio on crypto, 5 to 1. And it can do quite well in any 1 year. Market pulling back, but it's holding sideways. I'm not sure that there's any catalyst today that could cause the market to rally other than a technical. Like if we go back to the SPY chart and look at it, it doesn't know what to do. It has no information to move forward. Rates are unchanged. Asia and Europe, only up marginally. Europe basically unchanged. Europe, in fact, closed at its prior close. So Europe up marginally. Asia kind of after a dip back to where it started and up a smidge. What else do we have for direction? So other than a technical, so, but it could take, all it takes is maybe one huge stock in the S&P to have some big news. That's all it could take. And then it will lead, whatever that is might lead. And we might see something today. But from my viewpoint, so far today is kind of one of those nothing days again. That's what I said about yesterday. And it was until it started to drop precipitously. So we have the whole day to pan out here, but at the open, it's looking pretty indecisive. Yep. And on indecisive days, that's no good for traders. All it does is it gives you pause to think, maybe as an investor, what you might want to be getting in. BXRX just got over 28 cents. If you're interested in stocks under $3, some of you might have a rule. I don't trade stocks under $3. BXRX, though, showing some strength. It's over VWAP. It got over 28 cents. You could put your stop in there at about 5 cents lower at 23 cents. And maybe the thing's about to run. It's showing some strength. BXRX. Yeah, Faraz, I'd like to see what kind of interesting things you could build with your 3D printer. Yep, just sideways. I'm looking at everything. Tesla running, but that can be expected for Tesla to put in some range. It could, by the time you get in, could just rip down to the bottom. Not a good day to trade. Everything's indicating sideways. So, you might find that, and maybe some of you are new in here, and you might find that a disappointment. DWAC is dead cat bouncing right now. That was a huge candle yesterday. You can scalp around with that if you wish to. But anyway, what I was saying is, if you're new in here and you find it disappointing that we're not getting into something, well, that's just kind of a beginner's outlook. On a day like today, we are saving money. We're making money, because even by staying break even, because we're saving money we would have lost from getting whipsawed out of the market. It's hard enough to get into a position, let it rally, and then pull back, give back gains so that you can get another rally, so you can get a higher price, and then it pulls back, give back gains, and it rallies higher. It's hard enough to wait for those days where things are trending so you can make money. Trying to make money on a day where things aren't trending and they're sideways, it's a complete, coin toss. There's going to be no, other than scalping, there's really no skill that's going to get you there. It has to trend. Things have to trend. They have to take direction for your money to appreciate. Huh? Who's this? Next. Who is this? Polly Pure Heart. Is this the Polly that I know from LA? I think I remember you from Beverly Hills. Sure. Oh, it's Christine from Facebook. Hey, oh my God, how crazy. That that is amazing. All right, so do you have a question for me, Christine? I can look at a stock for you if you want. I've just been recognized by an old friend. All right, SPY and the Qs are rallying now, and the industrials, and Bitcoin is continuing. Energy actually rallying as well, so that's very nice, and rates staying the same. So this is looking a little bit better now. The VIX is rising, is dropping rather. I watched the inverse VIX. Speaking of Facebook, somebody says, take a look at Facebook. Yeah, it's still just ranging. Facebook's still ranging. Where's Jackson? Do you miss Jackson? Well, Jackson is taking care of his family, so maybe that's what he's up to. Jackson's a good guy. XLP, that's where I am. With a lot of my portfolio in staples, consumer staples. Yes, it looks good. Space has been in a downtrend for a long time, a really strong, perfect downtrend. And I'm short space. Today it's having a green day, but overall I am short space. I have to watch out for T-Doc really and Roku on my short side, because they are showing some strength at the bottom here. Update on SoFi. Let's take a look at that. So, yeah, overall, it didn't move the needle too much. That they got that regulatory approval to be a what that was with them as a bank holding company. But I imagine that over the next coming months, it will really be a positive and allow them to make a lot more money. So it could be a really good investment down here at $14. SoFi, it certainly is the lowest that they've been. So if in a year or two you maybe think SoFi would be $50, getting at 14 means you're getting, even if it were to go bankrupt and you lose all $14, the multiples and that would be your one risk unit. The multiple to the upside could be 3 or 4x. So, it starts to get, when stocks start to get around $10, the multiples start to get so good that it becomes, a pretty decent decision to get in. What you have to do is you just have to make sure that you get in with the expectation of potentially losing all of your money, because when stocks are down around $10, they've got two ways they can go: bankrupt, delisted, and then eventually bankrupt, or back on track, and they'll be trading in the 30s, 40s, 50s and up soon. That makes sense? You guys understand the risk reward on that? The math. He asks about Coinbase. Coinbase slamming lows. Can you believe it was up at 430 and now it's at 226? EMVD is down today. Get out of that. If you're in that from yesterday and you didn't exit, that was a mistake. And so today you need to exit. What's the play today? Yeah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? We were just talking about SoFi. It just depends on how long you want to be in it. If it's a short-term trade, medium-term trade, short-term investment, long-term investment. EVTL, okay. What's the volume? All right, I like that. EVTL on some news has popped from 740 to 870. It's not really trading enough though. 50,000 shares every 25,000 shares a minute. That is not very liquid, Drew. So that's just not enough interest. That's not enough demand. That's not liquid enough to be too safe. So be careful. All right, there it goes. It's breaking out of the top, 890. Take it to the bottom of 8 for your stop. So $1 of risk. If you want to get into EVTL. Pixie for the second day. Let's take a look. Thank you, Brianne. Pixie breaking out, and that's a confirmed bottom reversal on Pixie, PIXY. So you might want to try swinging that. Entry on Pixie, bottom reversal. Not the kind of trades that I alert for the whole group, but certainly a potential. And I would set your stop at $1.70. It looks like you're going to get stopped out. It doesn't look like it's going to hold. You might want to wait until the end of the day. Just monitor it. as long as it doesn't get away from you, because you basically need to make sure that it closes above these two other pivot points. Um, Strong Zombie, if you have a volume bar underneath your chart, which I do on another screen on that one, it shows you how many shares have traded per bar. And I'm on the 2-minute chart, so I just divide by 2 to get the 1-minute volume. Yeah, that hasn't changed on EVTL. In fact, it's gone down in volume already. So whatever excited interest was there, it's fading fast. You have the $32 forward call with a expiration of tomorrow, I believe you're saying. What are my thoughts? Let's see. What? You mean you're gonna have to big rig shot? You're gonna have to retype that. I think you made a mistake. Oh yeah, yeah. Who is this? The True Lish King. Yeah. We have some ads running on TikTok. Thanks. What did you think about it? You're one of the first ones who's circled back around and being able to say they saw it. What did you think about it? Hopefully that person is still in the TikTok. What was your impressions? Were they negative, positive, neutral, interested? Let's get any feedback if we can on that ad. If anybody saw the ad that we're running, TikTok, and just let me know feedback, any criticism at all. Like it felt really snake oily. Like this is go ahead, just tell me. I don't care. What we need to hear is what your true opinion was. Oh, you saw the ad for Oz? Yeah, but you're going to be a little bit biased because you've been with us so long. By the way, Spy is running. Spy is making a run for it, and so is the market is moving up. We have now moved into 2 days ago's territory. We're now about 60% retraced up yesterday's negative day. So bulls are winning a fight here. We're making some progress. Okay, so you say you have the $32 January next year expiration on Ford. Okay, big rig shot. Can you see my like SPY graph here? I'm going to pull up Ford. Can you see that, the big one? And how much did you pay for that $32 call with a January 23 expiration? And I'll show you how you can figure out whether or not you like what you got or not. Pay $200 for the 32 call on Ford. So that means your break even is 34. So you're going to lose money if Ford isn't 34 or more by January of next year. Okay. So what you do is then you draw a line from the current price to that date and that break even price. This is my own method, by the way, that I've come up with. There you go. There's that line. Extend the right line. There we go. Boom. So you will not be profitable. You will lose money. You'll have less than the $200 anytime Ford is underneath that line. That's your break-even line for the next year. Kind of like, as you can see, I even have another line underneath here. That the line that I have underneath is kind of the typical growth rate of Ford. And your line is, I don't know if you can notice it, but it's a little bit steeper. It's a little bit more unrealistic. Now, had you bought, let's say, the 20 call, or that's what I'm going to ask you is, how much is the 20 call? January 2023 expiration, 20 call. This white line is what you bought. And then once you look up and tell me how much the 20 call is, okay, $535. Okay. So if the 20 call is $535, what's your break even price by expiration? I mean, that probably shows it on your Robinhood or whatever you might be on. What's the break even on a 20 call on Ford if it costs $535 or $5.35 a share? You have a little bit of a delay over there on the Twitch, which is where Big Rick shot is. No. It's the 20 call, Mikey. It's the 20 call, and it's costing $5.35 a share, or $535. That Big Rick shot, what's your break even? Richson over on YouTube says $25.35. Yeah, that is correct. And Chad Walter said that over here too as well. Right? So now let's draw that line. So from the current price to $25.35 by January. There we go. So now on that one, and I'm going to make that green because that's so much better. That's called an in the money option. Now how much more realistic is it that Ford might be able to beat that green line anytime over the next year? Like fathoms, like massive amounts more realistic, right? So here, this white line, you're not even making money unless you surpass the white line for the next year. You'll just be $200. Even if Ford were to follow that white line, your $200 is not going to make any money. It's just going to stay there at $200. But if Ford doesn't even, make it for half a year, you're going to be underwater. But by buying the in the money option, you can see that you can get over that line pretty easily. Ford might end up in the upper 20s or even 30s in the next, a little while here, the next few months, let's say. And you can see that if Ford gets to 30 by, let's say, even middle of the year, this is how much money you'll be up on that $32 option. But this is how much money you'd be up on the $25 option. You'd almost double your money on the $535 option, but you'd only be up like $75 on that $32 option. You double your money. You've spent $535. So, you get what you pay for. And on the stock market and with options, nothing could be more true. You get what you pay for with options. I'll make this arrow green. I don't know if it'll let me. Maybe. Nah, but it'll let me maybe. There we go. So a huge difference in profit. So that's, a great example of why I always recommend deep in the money options for all of your swings, because you are just setting yourself up. It'd be like, you trying to race somebody, and then you say, yeah, and I want to I want to also, I want to have no water, no Gatorade, and every minute I have to be 10% farther from you in distance than I was the minute before. Otherwise, I'm disqualified. Okay, ready, set, go. It's like, why would you set yourself up with such a high hurdle? So, yeah. Big Rick Shot said, wow, maybe I should just sell and buy the $20 call. How do you think Jim Cramer got rich? That's his method. It's called stock replacement strategy. Go look it up. Stock replacement strategy. Jim Cramer, that was his big thing. And he was right. Deep in the money options are 60% higher probability, more profitable, and less risky, and you lose less than versus at the money and out of the money options. Don't ever buy at the money or out of the money options. So at this point, do we consider this a trending day? I mean, so far, yeah. I mean, we're looking okay. But the thing is, in my opinion, we have some freedom today. Whoops, hold on. Let me get rid of those two marks. Okay. To move around. See, if I go back to SPY, I mean, we could get all the way up to the high of yesterday and the day before, which are roughly the same. We could get all the way up to about 460 and still not really have changed anything. Like where we're at right now, price-wise on the S&P 500, yesterday, were we there? Yes, and yesterday went down. So if we went down from here, nothing will have changed logically from yesterday. It's exactly the same. We were here and we're here again. And then the day before we were also here. So until we can get up and above and start erasing yesterday and the previous day's downward progress by getting over the top of those candles, then we are logically in no progress land. We've made no progress on the previous 2 days. Of course, to get there, we've got to rally up and we've got to get up there. Not every day. We can gap up sometimes, and then boom, we're out of the hole. But this rally is going to have to extend all the way up to 460 and break it if it's real. We have a lot of range. When the market drops a whole heck of a lot, it's completely natural for it to go up a little heck of a lot. If the market drops a whole heck of a lot, it can go up a little heck of a lot, not change anything. Next day, go up a little more heck of a lot, still not be over the previous day's, high, and it still doesn't change anything. It can be a manipulation. It's just, mean reversion. How many people do you think want to buy after a day like yesterday where it went way, 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 way down? A good click, a good portion of people. So that's what we're seeing today. But is it enough? Is everyone truly bullish? Doesn't, I mean, until we can break 460, erase everything that just occurred, not everyone's on board. Just the yahoos who think that this could be a potentially good point to buy in because yesterday was so oversold. They consider it oversold. So until 100% of everyone gets on board, you can't be sure that we're in an uptrend. We can be sure that at the moment of confirmation, when the market breaks 460, if the market breaks 460, you can also check out other indices. Like we can check out the Qs. Are we close to beating getting over the high of the last 2 days? No, the Q's got to get over 376. So SPY has to get over 460. The Q's have to get over 376 2 days ago. 2 days ago's high to be in concordance. And the Dow needs to get over 355. So, until that happens, the sentiment overall, what everyone's thinking, is not the same. We have differing points of view. You want the market to be broadly going up, like 90% across the board. Well, 90% of the people have to agree. And right now they don't seem to agree. We're already pulling back. And you got to watch your trends on the day. So we go over to the 1 minute chart, for example, on SPY. And we need to watch these pivot points. Already we had a failed retest right here. We're already showing weakness on the whole market. We may break down. Wow, it just about damn near just happened. We may break down 456.15. Look, it's just right when I'm talking about it. So that's how you got to watch things. What do you think about BXRX? It's a shitty penny stock. So, this morning, it popped up, right? But now the direction on it is sideways. So I don't know about you, but when you say it's up 30%, to me, that doesn't give me enough information. I need to know, is it going up? Tell me something's going up. Then maybe it has a chance that it's in trend and we can make some money off of it. But if you say it's up over 30%, so what? That could be the high. Maybe it's, now it's up 29%. Now it's up 28%. You could keep telling people that something's up. Oh, but it's up 5%. Oh, but it's up 4%. Oh, but it's up 3%. Oh, but it's up 2%. And do you really expect all the people you're telling to get in because it's quote unquote up? Up means nothing. Up means nothing. All that matters is the charts and the trend, direction. You can't make money on single points of information. Somebody says SoFi will touch 1622. Okay. What do I think about Sen? Looks like a good short, but it might be over already. Alvy says, yeah, Jackson. Hey, Jackson. I think, the market is getting close to possibly breaking down even right now. because it's failing to move forward, but only break the trend that it just was on. It was on like a little mini uptrend there on the 1 minute chart. And if it just did tap and break down a little bit. Now it has to get up and over the high, 457, for it to re-erase that and continue to make progress. The question was, what if you have an investment that's down 50%? Would you cut losses completely or pull out half? Yeah, I would cut losses completely. That's a huge amount that you're down. It does depend on the chart a little bit. I would look at the chart myself to see if I can make a little bit more of an intelligent decision. But yeah, I would get rid of that and start the recovery process right away. Like, you need to get into stocks that go up, not down. And the sooner you can move that money over there, then you can start that money recovering. You're going to have to double your money now that you've lost 50%. A lot of people think, oh, I lost 50%. I can just gain 50% more. No, that would only still have you down 25%. You would have only regained 25%. If you lose 50%, you have to win 100% more. You have to, in other words, if you suck so bad that you got into something that went down half, then how on earth do you think you're going to be so good that to recover those losses, you're going to be able to get into something that doubles? You've already proven you suck. So I think the important thing to do is sell and start the recovery process and maybe even the learning process. And maybe invest in something else like selling lemonade or mowing lawns, because you don't seem to be too good at managing your money. And that's what trading stocks is about. It's not a fucking casino. You're here to make money. So, like, do something else and read some stock books, learn about trading and investing in the stock market. Use paper money if you have to in the meantime, to learn about stock investing, but don't lose money. Like seriously, if you can make money doing something else, why would you be losing money? There's two choices. Oh, I can make money doing this other stuff. I know how to make money. I can sell lemonade, I can mow lawns. I can make money. Or I can lose money. I mean, let's stop being idiots, right? We got to make good choices so we can have more money in life. It's capital preservation is the whole game. I mean, you've just basically all you got to do is beat inflation, 2.25% per year. On that note, and the market failing down, the momentum is waning. You see that? It's tilting over and sagging. So likely to head down next and test that area. I will see you guys in the trading group. Good trading with you this morning. Hopefully I kept most of you safe. So you have all your money ready to trade tomorrow. Don't do stupid shit. Motto of the year. Don't do stupid shit. Go mow some lawns or sell some lemonade. Selling lemonade is one of the most entrepreneurial things you can do. Mowing some lawns, probably as well. You got to buy the lawnmower. Maybe there's gas, electricity costs, whatever. You got to sell. You got to do it. There's labor. I mean, both of those are, sound silly, but are probably some of the best things you could do to make sure that in 30 years you're a millionaire. Did T-Doc stop out? T-Doc, why is it like that? Oh, no, not for me. All right. See you guys later. Yeehaw! Let's cut some grass. That was a lot of E's. If you guys want to join the trading community, make sure you click the link in wherever you're at, which could be the bio, the profile description, wherever you're at. All right, see you in the group. My stop will probably be about 85. That's my stop. It could be different for you. You can get out now if you want.